Hey, welcome back YouTube to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through my steps that I take to cook some burgers outside on my gas grill. So the next thing I want to do here is I actually want to use some of my chips that I bought at Walmart. Put them in my smoker tray that I got at Academy. Alright. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want to, even though it's a gas grill, I want to introduce some of that charcoal or open flame type of taste to it. So you put a couple of chips in there, you close it off, and I will put it here nearest where my meat's gonna be. Next thing would be to open up your gas grill. This one always goes first. The second one from the right always goes first. Turn it on. Supposed to turn it on from the second one, third, fourth, fifth, in that succession, and then we get to the last one. And all I'm doing here is that I'm burning the grill. I'm heating it up nice and warm. Now what I have noticed on these grills, especially this one, this 6-burner grill, is that even at the lowest setting it'll flare up on you. So it's not one of those set it and forget it. Alright, so you just got to make sure that you're always on it. You don't want you don't want to leave it thinking that it's not going to flare up on you, and it will. Now I normally don't use all 6 of the burners. Right now I'm just doing it so it can burn off. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling. It's burning off some of the stuff, some of the old stuff that I did for the cook. Then I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna clean this. What I like about these grills is that within minutes you're ready to cook. Charcoal is awesome, but at the same time it takes a while. It takes like 20-30 minutes just for the charcoal to actually start to be ready for cooking. These guys, they're ready within minutes. Like right now, if I actually wanted to, if I didn't want to clean the grill or anything, I could actually just throw my burgers on here and we're good to go. But I want to heat it up a little bit so I can get rid of some of the trapped fat and trapped grease that is on here. Move this over a little bit. Alright, this is ready to go. I'm ready to go get some burgers so we can get this done. I was hoping we could get some of the smoke coming out of the chip box here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So because I'm not going to use any of these over here, I'm actually going to turn these off. I'm going to leave those on, the first 3 on. And I'm actually going to bring it down because what I want to do is I don't want to burn my meat. And as you can see, the fire can go over it pretty quick. So I'm going to bring it down to the lowest setting possible on all the meats, on all the burners. And I am going to close it while I go get my meat. Alright, so I'm back. And trusty old Kirkland's from Costco. Frozen meat patties. Very, very easy. I mean, you're talking about from turning on the grill to sitting down and eating, you're talking about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes tops, depending on the fire. So all I do is I get my frozen patties here. And once I put these on, I can't really leave the grill because I've noticed that these grills, they flare up on you. So I'm going to put the patties I'm going to use. The sizzle tells you that the grill is ready. This is the one thing that I wasn't prepared with these. Well, at least with this one. I don't know about the other ones, but with this one, it's like, wow. If you take your eyes off it for a couple of minutes, you're risking burning all your meat. Why? I have no idea. I mean, I have an idea of why it happens, but I didn't think it would happen with these gas grills. The thing is that the grease that is coming out of the actual burger itself is getting on the elements that are covering the pipes down there, and when that happens, it flares up on you. So you just got to be careful. The next thing I do, any type of seasoning, I mean, I got this one from Walmart, is all season all, and just kind of sprinkle it on there. Another little trusty thing that I always recommend that you guys have for just to be safe, you know, you don't want to get anybody sick. I have this temperature probe, meat temperature probe. I can actually stick these in and find out what the internal temperature is of the meat, and that way you know that you have a nice cooked piece of meat instead of guessing whether it's ready or not. To give you an illustration of what I'm talking about, here's my meat probe. If I touch it, well, maybe not because it's over 100 right now, but normally if I touch it, it goes down. It's actually going to go down because of my temperature, right? But I'm going to stick this in one of the patties. I know it's well undercooked, but just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, you're looking at, keeps on going down. So I mean, that tells me for sure that that piece of meat is not ready to be pulled out. I'm going to close this up. And this is a real nice little tool to have because you can actually leave it in one of the hamburgers the way I did it right now, and it kind of takes the guesswork. I know I said you can't walk away from it, but at least you can see where it's at as far as the internal temp is concerned. There's a lot of smoke starting to build up, which is good. I want that smoky flavor. Let me see where we're at. So we're looking at about 111 there. This one's a little bit more advanced. Looking at about 124. This one still has a little bit more to go. So they're all about hovering around the same, 110 to 125. That one's actually picking up a little bit. Now I'm gonna zoom in here so you guys can see. I haven't checked the temperature on this one, but what you want to see is something that looks something like this. Notice all those juices coming out from the top. That's telling you the heat's going in all the way through, and it's starting to cook it straight through. So when you see that, you know that your patties are very close to being done. Bring it back out. Let's see what the temperature is on this one. Yeah, you see how it's going up. Now notice that fire on the bottom. Whew, got some burnt hairs here. Casualties of war. Notice that fire on the bottom. That's what I'm talking about, where you cannot leave it alone and just walk away from it. Because of the fat that's hitting the shield there, that shield, the fat is actually flaring up. The flame from the actual propane is actually flaring up, and it's actually increasing the heat here. So it's not one of those you can walk away from. You just have to be very careful. It's manageable. It was just something that I was taken aback at first, because this was my first propane smoker. I didn't know what to expect, and I know that I have to basically babysit anything you're going to put in here. So I'm going to flip these over. And then now that I have awoken the fire beast, I just got to make sure that, especially like this one here, I noticed that there's a lot of fire coming out of over here, a lot of extra heat. Got to make sure I keep an eye on this one. If anything, if I need to, I can move them over so that they're not constantly on the heat. I can move these over here. And once you get this flame going, and it's one of those constant flames that you can't put out, your best defense on that is just to keep on turning them and keep an eye on them so that they don't overcook on you or they don't burn on you. I notice that there's a lot of heat over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. I don't want to get either side too hot. So notice how this one is hitting 140, and you're starting to see some of the blood seep out right there. Let me see if this thing can focus. So yeah, you just got to keep an eye on that. Flip this over one more time. Because the high heat is over there, pull out. I'm going to check the temperature on this one over here. So as you can tell, these are very, very close to being done. You're at 167, 169. Once you hit 180, 185, that's the super well done mark, and you know that you can pull them out safely without thinking that there's any red inside the meat. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. now that I have this grill that's not going to be used anymore, I can actually turn this one off on this side. Close this off a little bit now that the fire has tamed out a little bit. Once that hits 185, I know I can pull it out for sure. Alright, so you notice that one does hit 185, so I know that one's good to go. I can start putting them over here off to the side. Well, that one's at 196, so I think we're good to go on this one. Let's see what this one tells me. 196, we're good to go. Now, a telltale sign, and I hope my meat thermometer proves me right, but a telltale sign that your burger is ready to go is that once the liquid starts to come out clear and it starts to look like little bubbles, that tells you that your meat should be done. But let's just verify with the temperature probe. It should be over 185 big time. Oh yeah, see how it jumped up to 190? Tells you it's good to go. There's no more red in the liquid, in the juices coming out. You remember these are the very first ones that I moved over. 185, that's good to go. And this very last one. At 187, that one's good to go. Alright, so that's how you make some quick burgers on your grill. The way you turn this one off, just an FYI, you actually don't turn it off from the knobs first. What you want to do is you want to go down to your actual propane tank and close the propane tank off and let the fire die out. Once it dies out, you hear that? It's done. Now there's no more gas in the system, and then you can come around and actually turn off the knobs. And you know that there's no more gas in the lines. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I have other videos. Please look at my channel, and so you guys can keep up to date with the latest and greatest. But once again, this was a Smoking Beard, bringing you a how-to grilling burgers in your gas grill. Thanks for watching, guys.